Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I just read another book, and this one is called Make Lemonade. It's by Virginia Ewer Wolf, or Wolf, I guess it's pronounced Wolf. It is prose-like in the way that it's written. It is garnered toward a younger crowd, but even though it has that demographic in mind, it's actually very thought-provoking and deep, especially in how LaVon sees the world. And LaVon is our narrator, and she talks about the mother that she babysits for and the children, and just the amount of work that she puts into helping her, and it transforms her. It's very interesting. Now, I like the way the book is written because even though it's very simplistic in its language, it's also very telling about the environment in which LaVon's baby city is actually living in, and she lives in a very unsettling, unstable situation with her children, and she lives off welfare, and it talks about drugs, and it's interesting. I think it's written by kind of a person's point of view who lives in kind of a barrio setting or a ghetto, just because of the way she describes things, and it comes across as happening in the South as well, because of course there's a lot of yes ma'am, no ma'am, and a lot of politeness, and she's trying to teach the children how to be polite. And I'm not going to go into why it's called Make Lemonade, although it's very interesting, and you might think, oh well, it's simplistic, but no, there's more to it than that. There's a little bit more depth, quite literally, even though it's focused more on youth rather than older readers, but the older reader will be able to garner quite a bit out of the book itself. And although it's short, I really liked it, and I never encountered Virginia before, but on the leaflet on the back, and this was written in 93, I don't know if Miss Wolf is still alive, but it says here she's written 2 other books, Mozart Season, and Probably Still Nick Swanson. She lives in Oregon, or Oregon City. It says that Mozart Season is an ALA notable book for children and young adults, or best book for young adults. Probably Still Nick Swanson is the winner of IRA Children's Book Award for young adults, and a ALA Best Book for young adults. And it says, that the jacket photograph is copyrighted. And let me read a little bit. Actually, I'm not going to read the front flap because the front flap actually gives a lot away. So I'm not going to read it. But let's see. Yeah, there's not really that much, but I think that the writing style is interesting. And I'm going to actually read an excerpt. I go to meet this Jolly, like she says, at her place. The building was broken down looking. It was even a worse place than where we live. The sidewalk is sticky. The garbage cans don't have lids. Somebody without teeth was talking to herself at the front door. See, it's even though it's written, LaVon, when she speaks, she's speaking as as though she's actually talking, and it's interesting. It's more narrative and direct, and also very easy to understand and digest, I think. And it talks about why she's taking this job and the purpose of that, and just her drive and passion, and the force actually making her go to Jolly's house and take care of her little kids. And just all of the responsibility that comes with that. And kids are a lot of I know this, but kids are a lot of responsibility. I don't have any of my own, but I'm hoping to have some. I know they're expensive, but I hear that they're worth it. And someday I'm sure it'll happen to me, but I just have to be patient. I feel kind of out of the loop because I don't have any children, and it sort of makes me feel like an outsider when other people talk about their families and me not having one of my own. I just think, how am I ever supposed to relate to you? I don't have much of anything in common. It's more than half of the people I know have a family and I don't. And I think, so this is what being an outlier feels like. I don't like it, but anyway, nobody is supposed to march to the beat of society's drum. You have to find your own way. And it's interesting here that LaVon does so in her own way. And it's actually quite enterprising for a young girl her age. I mean, you have to give her credit. And at 14, she actually realizes quite a few things. She has a lot of rather adult insight for a 14-year-old, and you have to think to yourself, for a 14-year-old, she's thinking more like an adult, and it's very intriguing. And coming from where she is, of course, it makes sense. You can just see at the crux of it, she wants a better life for herself. But that's all I have to say about Make Lemonade. It's actually a very good little book, and I'm glad I had a chance to read it. There were moments that I actually felt rather depressed reading it, just because it's so stark, and it's such a contrast as to what I'm used to living. And I've been close to people living in the lower income level, so I know what it's like. I've been touched by that. I'm actually mid-income now. I used to be lower income. I'm hoping that I become higher income, but I don't want that to make me holier than thou or elevating myself above others, as having a superiority complex, because some people who are affluent tend to do that. They look down on other people or look down their noses, and I've been subject to that. I've also been subject to discrimination due to the fact of where I've come from, and it's very strange, because you never think that you'd be on the receiving end, but it's not very fun. But you just have to bear down, and you have to be proud of where you come from, because just because you come from a place where people have heard so-called rumors about your place of origin, well, my place of origin was different than the place of my residence, and of course I've changed it, but the place where I was born, that's my hometown. That's in my blood. But I don't lord it over people. I don't say, well, I'm better just because I was born here. No, I'm like everybody else. I'm a human being, and I just wanted to put that out there. But a little bit of an update. Hoping to hear good news. We'll see. Of course, not too long ago, actually Wednesday, I turned 39, so I'm now officially 39 years old. I don't feel 39. I don't look 39. I perceive myself as more of a teenager than anything else, although I have the mind of an adult and a lot of chores and tasks that I do. I am well on my way to getting a Master's of Business Administration. Now I'm getting that through Colorado Technical Institute, which is a very well accredited university, and I give them all the plaudits for having the program. A lot of it's all new to me, and it's challenging, but I absolutely love it. And I get a chance to work out my writing issues, even though it's just reference, which I can do in my sleep I could even do it in the dark blindfolded. It's so easy. I shouldn't boast like that, but I know what I'm doing. I mean, come on, I'm a Bachelor of Arts. I'm an English major. What do you expect? This is simple. I should get paid, but I don't. Anyways, I don't have that much else to say other than things are going well. Hopefully I can look for a house. I have to go through a lot of preliminaries. I have to be pre-qualified. My lease doesn't end until April, but I've been so busy. It's so much work, and I know that's the one thing I keep forgetting. I think I keep telling myself, oh, you gotta look for a new place to live, even though you like it here. It just is not suiting you economically speaking, but it'll come to pass. Everything is fine. I've had a lot of good happen. My birthday anniversary was the best that I've had in a long, long time. It's been a year of reflection and growth, and I've become even better of a person ever since I was hired at my new place of employment, which I will not mention because I'm not supposed to really talk about that too terribly much, or I'm not going to divulge company secrets because that'll put me in the slammer, and God forbid that would happen. Actually, that would actually subject me to termination, so I'd much rather not go down that road. I'm too smart for that. But beyond that, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving. There are a lot of good movies coming out. I'm going to see Wreck-It Ralph. Of course, Bohemian Rhapsody, I might wait for that. Mortal Instruments, I'm definitely going to see, which isn't until December, but yeah, I'm definitely going to see. That is a must-see for me. That is Paramount. Maybe it's made by Paramount. I don't know. No, it's not. But film puns. Ooh, I've never gone down that road before. Yeah, right. There are a lot of really good films coming out, and next year seems to be another really good one too. So much choice, but this is the time of year where they hit us movie buffs with the variety of blockbuster films for an easy cash grab. But I know how they work because I've done marketing, so I know your game and you can't fool me. But some of them, you hooked me, so even I am not immune to your charms. But beyond that, I don't really have that much to say. It's a good book. If you haven't heard of Miss Wolf, then all in all, I recommend it. It's a very good little read and very light. And actually, despite the fact of it being true to life, a slice of life, it's actually very inspiring, especially for those of us who want to make something of themselves and work on self-improvement. I think that's the most important thing. I think that's what I've learned in 2 years' time of coming out of a miry pit that I thought I would never be able to crawl out of. But I've had friends, and by the grace of God, forgive my Christian flag waving, but that's the only way that I've been able to recover fully. And I'm still on my way. I'm still learning. I'm never going to learn everything, but it's a process like everything else. So that's all I gotta say. Until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, tutti.